ja jeszcze tak przed snem takiego małego tyci lejwoszka. Jezus, pardon. Bo zobaczymy, bo może uda mi się w tej... Tu... w jakiej rozdzielczości będzie... Black Mirror 3. Szybko ogarnąć... To Pimbi. Topinambur. Jest śrutup. Jest śrutup. Podgląd jest. Łapeczka ode mnie jest. I teraz chwila prawdy. Ej! Co jest? Halo? Ty, coś mi się zbufolowało. No nie mów, że teraz mi się zawiesił kurka wodna. Uruchom jeszcze raz. Graj w Black Mirror 3. Normalnie. Nikt to może nagrywać. No dupa. No to co, rozpoczynamy nową grę. Rolo.
Help me! I'm being chased! They're gonna kill me! The Order! The Academy! It's collapsed! My sister and my mother are dead.
Don't I know you from somewhere? That's just what I was going to say. That's the bloke we've been looking for.
That's the gang. What?
Well, what a coincidence, Mr. Michaels. I'm arresting you on suspicion of the murder of Miss Amanda Bauer. I'm calling for arson too.
What? No!
Take him away, Constable.
Inspector, I think I found her.
Kuba, jak mogłeś tak?
Damn! Call on the lads. There's nothing more we can do here.
She didn't set herself.
Why not? Perhaps she was cold and set herself on fire? For God's sake, she was murdered. Am I the only one around here with half a brain? Anyway, we're not gonna find any more clues. It's been raining all night. You stay here and wait for the cavalry. I'll go down to the village and ask some questions.
Bit early for a beer, isn't it, Inspector?
I'm here on official business, Tom.
It wasn't me, honest. Me brother Bobby's me witness.
Do you know Amanda Valley?
Yes, unfortunately. I still owe her money.
Well, hold on to it. Buy her a wreath.
Heck, why? Is she dead?
You could say that. Burned. Probably last night between 6 p.m. and midnight.
Nie
Where
słabo
were you at that
słychać?
time?
Hey,
No
Inspector,
niedobrze.
you know I wouldn't kill anyone, especially not over a few quid. I was out with Bobby at a theme park, Alton Towers. Got home pretty late, went straight to bed.
So, do you know if Miss Valley had any enemies?
Apart from the Gordons,
No nie będę się
Gordons.
pruć.
her brother was cut off by that Samuel chap.
Nie słabo słychać.
I guess that was before your time. Since then, she's absolutely hated that family.
Zabiłeś wszystkich?
Have you seen her flat? It's bloody mad, I tell you.
Any other tips?
Have you seen that Yank that's been sneaking around here recently? I'd check him
Nie,
out if I were
plany.
you. He's the one with the blood in his hands. He was chatting with Amanda Valley in front of the pub a few days ago. He asked me about a tackle for robbing houses. No idea why he came to me, but it sounded pretty suspicious.
6 godzin przed aresztowaniem.
Holy. She really
Cholera.
hadn't gotten over it.
Cholera!
What have we got here?
Co my tutaj mamy?
Interesting.
Interesujące.
Ah, Darren Michaels, Bedford, Maine, last week. I'll bet anyone 10 quid that's the Yank Tom was talking about.
Inspector! Inspector, the castle's on fire!
Oh, great. As if a burnt corpse wasn't enough. Come on.
Just listen to what I've got to say first. You can't just...
Come on, get in the car.
Call for the flaming torch next to a burned house. If this isn't my ticket out of this dump, then God only knows.
Jezus, mikrofon mnie atakuje. Nie.
So, you fell in love with this woman.
Angelina.
Fell in love with Angelina without knowing
Angelina.
she was your sister. She lured you to England, to Black Mirror Castle, the castle of your ancestors, to use you as a key for an old ritual. That's right, isn't it? Do me a favor and put the lighter down, all right?
Mógłbyś odłożyć
You
zapalniczkę?
said it had something to do with a curse, Adrian.
You tell me. All I know is that I drizzled blood on a book and read out incomprehensible words. And then bang, black all around me. And the next thing I can remember, there were sounds in the woods behind me getting nearer. All in all, a grade A nightmare. The ritual probably worked, and now I'm possessed by a centuries-old evil soul that wants to bend my mortal body to its purpose.
You believe you're carrying a second soul. Oh, Adrian, I know that feeling well. But believe me, no one is cursed. Children always believe they're to blame for grown-up suffering. These feelings of guilt have branded themselves into your soul. So, how was it for you to meet your biological mother after all these years?
Głośność
You
ogólną
said you didn't have much time to talk to her.
No. I was taken hostage by Angelina.
Pardon.
They both died shortly afterwards. They fell into the abyss in the ritual chamber.
In the ritual chamber. Exactly. And your foster mother in America. Did you have a chance to
A
talk to
jak
her
tam
about
twoje
it?
zdrowie, Kubuś?
No, she was in a coma, and then she died.
All right then. Perhaps we should forget about the women in your family for the time being and turn to more happy matters. Let's talk about your father.
Aha.
Wait a
Co
minute,
tam?
Constable. We're not finished yet.
Perhaps we can leave that till tomorrow.
As you wish.
I don't mean to
Yes,
interrupt,
Mr.
but the inspector has something important he needs to talk with Mr. Michaels about. And you know what the inspector's like. It's about the bail.
Is it still not high enough for him? There's no one who would spend a penny on me anyway.
Don't say that.
All right, Doc. Have you got a spare 5,000 pounds?
Yes. Well, I can't do that, Adrian. I'm your doctor.
Mr. Michaels, come along now,
Proszę
please.
za mną.
If there's anything you
Już
want to talk
lecę.
about, Adrian, I'm here most of the time. And Zach, tell the inspector he should keep to the arranged times.
Karty przeznaczenia.
I don't
karty
burst in when he's in the middle of an
przeznaczenia
interrogation.
Yes, Mum, I'll tell him.
So how's your abused little arsonist soul? Stroke better by the nice doctor? I hope you see the burning faces of the 4 poor souls you have on your conscience every single night.
Thanks for asking.
You know what? I'm starting to run out of patience with you. If I could, I'd have you deported. Your fellow countrymen should be made to endure your fairy tales. Unfortunately, I can't do that.
If you'd led a decent investigation, then you'd have found evidence for my fairy tales a good while back.
And now the little thug wants to tell me how to do my job. Constable Zach was down in the sewers for 2 days, and what did he find? Nothing. And Miss Valley's also mysterious order. Nonsense. No one here has even heard of it.
They had an assembly chamber in the mine. And Victoria knows about it too.
Assembly chamber. Don't make me laugh. Miss Valley gave lectures on the cursed Gordon clan in there. And the old biddy hasn't spoken since the fire.
Gordon clan? Old Biddy? Stop talking about my family like that.
Your family? Yeah, well, you'd actually fit in with those loonies.
Whatever. Can I go back to my cell now?
Unfortunately, I have to throw you out of your little paradise. Someone's paid your bail.
What did you say? Who?
Doesn't seem to be a friend of yours.
Who?
Wanted to stay anonymous. Well, whatever. Get your things and get out of here. But don't go too far. Otherwise, I'll have to put you on the money list. That would be pretty much the most stupid thing that could happen to you.
I can well believe it.
All the better. So be a good boy and go collect your things from your apartment.
Inspektorze Chanel. Boże, za cicho jest głośno, żeby było na dialogu.
The police archive. There aren't very many files, but lots of them are labeled Gordon. As far as I know, there's no evidence room here. Collected evidence is kept in these lockers. They're always locked. A photocopier. Looks really modern compared to the rest of the furniture. The emergency call center. As you can see, it's manned around the clock. I guess those are the keys to the cells. Apart from the fact that everyone here would notice if I took them, my cell is open. That's Chief Inspector Spooner, the man that made the last 3 weeks of my life a living hell. A real ray of sunshine. Constable Zach seems okay. Plays by the letter of the law and all that. I want to get my personal belongings from the cell before I leave. I'm sure Spooner would just throw them in the bin otherwise. Can I disturb you for a minute?
No?
Czy ja nie wiem, czy ja mam iść do celi, czy...
slept on this pillow in this damn uncomfortable bed for the last 3 weeks. It doesn't smell as bad as it did at first. My reading material for the past 3 weeks. The intellectual outpourings of my frustrated predecessors. Would be nice if it worked. The wash basin, also known as the spare toilet. The road to freedom? More like the little turd's road to his big brother. Crumbling tiles. Why should the floor look any better than the rest? The top bunk hasn't been occupied since I've been here. There are people in the adjacent cell sometimes, though. My friendly fellow inmate, Matt Newcastle. One of those kind of people that my mother always warned me about. No, I can't leave without my diary. Where did I put it? I can't have lost it inside the cell.
Szafka?
Only the Willow Creek police know why there's only one locker for a 2-man cell. My pencil... but where's my diary?
Jezus.
The locker was open and my diary isn't inside. Damn. Have you seen my diary?
Your diary? And here's me thinking it belonged to some nutter. I don't know what happened to me in the ritual chamber. What went wrong?
To on się włamał do...
How did you get into my locker? Stop that. Constable!
Or worse, what if nothing went wrong? What if Mordred has been freed and has taken possession of me and is making me do his bidding?
Boże.
Please, somebody help me. Stop me from becoming a murderer.
Give that here!
Oddaj mi to. Ty bydlaku!
I
Ty
don't want
łoszu
to be
jeden!
Mordred's puppet. I want this fiend to disappear, back to the hell he crawled out of.
I'll have you! I'll kill you!
Boo-hoo-hoo! I don't want to be a murderer. Boo-hoo! Don't make me crap myself.
Tylko myślę potem jak
I'm
gdzie...
so scared. Hey, what's wrong with you? Hey, Scarface! Oh, forget it, you nutter.
Ładną wizję miał. Odzyskaliśmy dziennik?
Can you sign here, please, just to confirm that you've read the bail conditions and that you've been instructed to register with Dr. Winterbottom every day? This here is a declaration of your state of health at the time of your provisional release.
But there's only good or very good on there.
So, you're not feeling so good then?
No.
Well, don't forget to sign it then. Here's your wallet. I keep the passport. And you need to sign here that you got your things back.
You promise with all this signing you haven't secretly slipped a confession in there too?
That's not permitted.
Ah, so I'm in luck then.
A więc mam szczęście.
Just a minute, I was being a bit premature. There's $500,000
Tylko
missing.
nie wiem jak wam
You should have
jedynkę
checked for
potem
that
pokazać.
before
Gdzieś
signing
mi nie
for
chce
it.
przechwycić
Any
oprawny
subsequent
tryb.
complaints have to be addressed to our regional HQ in Bristol.
Alright, just a joke. Is that it then?
Dobra,
Yes.
dobra.
You're free to go now,
Jest
Mr.
pan wolny?
Michaels.
Panie Kubuś, jest pan
Amen.
wolny, może pan iść.
Mr. Michaels,
Something else to sign?
Jeszcze coś podpisać?
No.
Nie, ale
I just
chcę,
wanted to inform you that your solicitor is assuming you're going to call him soon. Here's his card.
Zadzwonisz do
Catch you later,
adwokata?
Constable. Free at last.
Wreszcie wolny.
Well, relatively.
Naprawdę,
At
przynajmniej
least I
mogę
can now
teraz
prove my
dowodzi
innocence by my
swojej
own means.
niewinności.
Now, let's see what my lawyer wants
Zobaczmy,
from
czego
me.
chce ode mnie adwokat.
Just a pile of junk. Sorry remains of a sorry annual fair. I don't think there's anything useful here.
Nie grałem nigdy w tą część. Jakoś żałuję tego. Do pubu,
That's
czy
Tom's
nie?
pub. I think he's still a bit angry because I left him in the swamp. And stole his car. Is that Tom's underwear hanging out to dry? Nope. Cloths. They aren't particularly clean, but I wouldn't expect anything else from Tom's pub. You know? I'm glad I drank
Jak
bottled
myślisz,
beer
że on
last
tak
time
też
I was
może
there.
też włączy, no?
Anyone want to buy an E? I'll have time to sit there when I'm old. You can hardly make out what used to be written there, but I assume that nothing edible has ever been served here, at least since Tom inherited the pub. I'll only go in there again once I've got a black belt in karate, or when the pub has a new owner. It looks like it hasn't been used for a very long time. I'm about to change that.
Wziąłem gąbkę, tylko nie wiem po co. Kartki pocztowe.
Murderous greetings from Willow Creek. The usual postcards and brochures.
Wiatr. A czy
Probably
za
belongs
wiatrem?
to a fisherman.
Dwukiloczka.
It says 3 kegs, probably of beer.
Miło jest tak z wami posiedzieć. Naprawdę, zastanawiam się, jak przechwycić z jedynki obraz.
The windows have colored plastic stuck on them. It's hard to make out anything.
Ty, a jakby tak wziąć tą gąbkę uciekają wszyscy.
What's her problem? That must be the shopkeeper with a whistle hung around her neck. She looks a bit nervous. I wonder if that's because of me. The cash register. Brand? Fossil. Hello.
What do you want?
This is a shop, isn't it? Then maybe I want to buy something?
Okay.
What is this? Willow Creek's main shopping drag?
Oh, we've got everything that people need here. Usually. You can order too, but then it'll be delivered next week, if that's okay with you.
That won't be necessary. I'm just having a look around. I'm Darren, by the way.
I know
Mr.
exactly
Darren.
who you are.
Dat is,
Oh,
Ramsey.
really? Who am I then?
You're the arsonist who was in the newspaper.
I'm not gonna set your shop on fire. Anyway, I'm innocent.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Ale
But please,
oczywiście.
don't stay too long. Otherwise, I will have to call the police.
Yeah, right.
And without a telephone, I'll just use my whistle.
The old woman who just ran out. Could it be that she's a little crazy?
Dorothy? Oh no, she's just as crazy as you are. I mean, she's fine. The whistle was her idea.
Are you scared of me?
Of course not. I've got my whistle. As soon as anyone comes too close, I blow it. And it's so loud, even the gravedigger in Wormhill can hear it.
Clever, Abaya.
How do you know my name?
You've got that little badge on?
Oh, yeah.
No tak.
By the way, your name's quite uncommon, Abaya. Where does it come from?
It's Indian. Don't you like it?
Oh, I do. It sounds very pretty. Does it mean anything?
The fearless one.
See ya.
I hope not.
Gazety.
All the most important newspapers are there. The Final Times, The Moon, Daily Black Mirror, and the Willow Creek Telegraph. Milk.
Pij mleko.
The latest prices of apples, bread, and milk are written on this big board. A random selection. There's everything from romantic novels to Zen guidebooks. Various smoking products. Tobacco, cigars, stuff
Witam,
from
witam,
pipes.
zdrowie klikam.
The inhabitants of Willow Creek seem to really enjoy smoking. It's the news on a news channel. I assume it's going to be like that all day. Maybe they show documentaries about heavy trucks or aircraft carriers between the bulletins. But I'm not interested. That's a Transylvanian-sized portion of garlic. We can assume the shop won't be attacked by vampires. A hint of France in Willow Creek. Yeah, that's how I like vegetables. Microwave ready on top of a steak. The sales girl is terrified of me. As long as I don't ask her any questions, then I probably won't give her a heart attack. That'll have gherkins in it. This open bag of coffee beans makes the shop smell real nice. Huge eggs.
Wielkie
from
jaja.
huge chickens. I don't know why, but I find that funny.
Zaraz wracam. Nara. Nie nara, poczekajcie. Chwila, przepraszam, musiałam wykonać telefon. Telefon! Telefon sprawniający sprawnie działać. Ty, tam jest gdzieś budka telefoniczna, poczekajcie. Ty, poczekajcie, gdzie tu jest budka telefoniczna? Strasznie cicho jest ta gra. Głośność efektów dźwiękowych. Damy na 100%. Trochę głośniej będzie. A dobra, tu jest budka. A ja tak szukałam, gdzie jest budka telefoniczna. Ludzie.
Mr. Jones from the law firm Jones and Partners.
Hello, Mr. Jones. Darren Michaels here. I was told you wanted to speak to me.
Ah, Mr. Michaels, yes. The investigations are stagnating, rather. As long as there's no evidence for the allegations brought against you, you can't be charged. So that's good. On the other hand, your fellow countrymen want to step into the ring, too. The American embassy is on our back. That's not so good.
And what does that mean exactly?
Well, that you're going to have to sit tight in Willow Creek for quite a while. Inspector Spooner's investigation methods. You implied the last time that you weren't too happy with them?
Yes. It seems to me that Spooner isn't really bothered anymore.
Inspector Spooner just wanted to produce a guilty party and then get the case closed as soon as he could. He has to produce results so that he can get back to London. But he's rather used up all his ammo. Now he's hoping that the embassy will take the case off him so that he doesn't have to chalk it up as a failure.
So he doesn't really seem to be interested in the truth.
Well, the truth, Mr. Michaels, as is generally known, is the invention of a liar. But the fact you've got bail is a good sign. And that someone's been found to pay for it is even better. Perhaps you should have a look yourself, now that you've been released, for some clues, some slip-ups in the investigation. Would be best if you could get a copy of your file.
Dobra.
Are you convinced that I'm innocent, Mr. Jones?
Of course, Mr. Michaels. You think I could represent you if I wasn't? Nevertheless, we should hurry up and find some solid evidence to prove it.
No mamy dobrze, bo przynajmniej tam.
This somebody who you maintain means well has paid the bail anonymously. Can you find out who it was?
No problem. But it'll take a couple of days.
Witam 3 osoby. To takie małe lajki
How long do I have to put up with this
Bo wcześniej
psychotherapy?
był z Gearsów.
You're gonna have to hang in there for a few more rounds at least.
Z gry
It's in your best
Black
interest.
Mirror 3.
The last assessment was
A
rejected.
jedynka nie
Good
wiem, czy
con-
uda mi się zrobić.
Forget about the authority. You ever thought
przekombinować
that
jak
you might
przechwycić
actually
obraz,
need
żeby
therapy?
był tutaj
Do you think I'm crazy?
Aren't we all? But seriously, Mr. Michael, try and do something about your mental condition. If you end up having to face a lawsuit in the States, your family's mental history isn't going to impress the jury one bit. So stop
Nie
blocking
bój się,
shots.
bo widać.
Come out from behind your guard, man.
You said I should have another look at my file. Is it really so easy to do that?
Well, it depends on the inspector in charge. But if you flatter him a little, he might let you have a look. Otherwise, I could request a copy and send it on to you.
That's gonna take too long. I'll try to get my hands on it myself.
Postaram się wziąć sprawy w swoje ręce.
Mr. Jones,
Panie
did you
Jones,
find
czy
out
dowiedział
anything
się
about
pan
my
czegoś na
identity?
temat mojego
Police here don't seem to be
wygląda
putting
na
any
to,
effort
że
into it.
nic nie robi
Yes.
w tej sprawie.
Concerning your identity, Mr. Michael, it's hard to prove anything at the moment. Find documents, birth certificates, that kind of
Ale
thing.
ciemna jestem, masa.
Don't forget to go to your
Halo?
therapy sessions.
Whatever. I'll be in touch.
Keep your head up. Attack is the best form of defense.
A fortune teller's business card. Madam Fortune. You'll see your future. And her phone number.
A weź zadzwonimy.
Hello?
Welcome to Madame Fortuna's.
Yeah, hi. My name's Adrian.
Stop. Speak no more, Adrian. I know why you're calling.
Oh,
Nic więcej nie
really?
mów.
You want to find out about your future.
Yes.
Adrian, you've come to the right place. I will read your cards for today. Pick a card.
Over the phone.
Say stop.
Stop.
I've drawn the tower.
And I've put the pawn on A3.
Hello, Adrian. Not check. There will be drastic changes to your life. I see. Death.
Great.
You will be ripped apart by wild beasts.
Wild
Zostaniesz
beasts.
rozszarpany przez dzikie bestie.
But Adrian, there is something you can do about it.
Really? What then?
They are found beasts.
Yeah. Thanks.
Nie pamiętam, dziękuję.
What a load of crap.
Co za bzdury. Jak 3 rury. A ja tak szukałam, gdzie jest kurka wodna ze strony i telefon. A telefon był pod nosem. Kawiarnia, czy co tu jest?
No idea what the river's called.
A może wpierw wróć na ten posterunek policji?
Do you have a moment, Inspector?
If you're quick.
Why do you dislike me?
I'm a cop. You're a criminal.
Come on, a little bit of friendliness never hurt anyone.
Miss Valley was friendly.
It wasn't me. How many times do I have
To
to
nie
tell
byłam
you?
ja! Kluczy!
My doctor, Winterbottom, has she been living in Willow Creek for long?
She moved here 10, 12 years ago.
Why? Because of the murders?
Ask her yourself.
Jesteś mordercą? Nie, cipkiem.
What was it that brought you here?
I don't know what that's got to do with you.
Co cię tu sprowadza?
What about your partner? He seems really busy.
Zach. He's not my partner, he's my constable. And yes, he's got lots to do, so don't disturb him.
And you really don't know who paid my bail?
It's paid to the court, not to me. I just got a letter from them saying I should let you go.
The guy in the other cell,
Is a paragon of virtue.
what did he do?
He beat up annoying little Americans. Should I let him out?
All right, all right. This here village, Willow Creek. Are there many criminals here?
Only since you turned up.
Does that mean it was quieter before? Not even a little bit of shoplifting?
Just normal village life. Punch-ups, rape, and drink driving.
So pretty much nothing happening. Can I have a look at my file?
Why? Have you forgotten something you've done?
Apart from the fact that it wasn't me?
No, you can't have a look.
Could you make me a copy of it then?
Of course not. That's a police file.
Why should I want to set fire to the castle?
Well, it could be because you were shipped off to America as a kid and had a miserable life there. Until you found out that you'd been taken for a ride your whole life. Then you came back to England to take revenge on your family.
What a load of crap.
So you finally admit it. It's all total bollocks. That's exactly why you have to see Dr. Winterbottom. And I'm gonna make sure that there are a lot more doctors taking care of you all day for the rest of your life. I can tell you why it was you. Because you're bloody mad. A nutter. You're obsessed with being a Gordon, a descendant of a murderous clan. It's some kind of justification for your irrational desire to burn and set fire to things. You pyromaniac.
It was Lewis. Damn you.
Oh yeah, the gardener. Then find him. He's disappeared without a trace since you've been here. Have you got him weighing on your conscience too? Spit it out.
Have you found out anything about my ancestry?
Yep, I've got a copy of Darren Michael's birth certificate here. Born on the 27th of February 1970 in Boston, Massachusetts.
And what about Adrian Gordon?
He's still dead in the Gordon crypt. That's what it says in the death certificate signed by Dr. Heinz Herman. Cause of death, 5th degree burns.
5th degree? In other words, only his ashes are left. How convenient. That's all for now.
I'm keeping my eye on you.
Tylko nie wiem, do czego mi ta gąbka. A mogę tam jeszcze
Not going
wrócić?
back there voluntarily. I'm not going back there voluntarily.
Dobra, czyli do sali nie możemy wrócić.
Walking maps of the area. Indispensable for a suspected murderer out on bail, like myself.
Weź.
I don't know why I shouldn't just steal these maps. Everyone here thinks I'm a criminal anyway. I'd like to buy one of these walking maps.
Please take it. You don't need to come to the till. It's on the house.
Oh, thank you very much.
I hope you only want to cut up veggies with that. Sir?
The sales girl is terrified of me. As long as I don't ask her any questions, then I probably won't give her a heart attack.
Boże święty, ta gra jest kurka woda przerażająca.
Fresh vegetables. A very paltry selection. I prefer the frozen variety. There were a load of knives in that before, or am I mistaken?
Sold out.
The sales girl is terrified of me. As long as I don't ask her any questions, then I probably won't give her a heart attack.
Spellforce'a wszyscy grają. No dobra. Idziemy do kadarni.
Flower vase or coffee cup? Probably both.
Gablota.
Shame. No donuts left. Photos of parties here in the cafe. I really didn't think they celebrated anything here in Willow Creek. Now here's something quite different. It's a nice contrast to the rest of medieval Willow Creek. I think the door leads into the storeroom. At least that's what this sign suggests. This is the best seat in the house, with a view of the village square. Unbelievably thrilling. You can watch the moss growing between the paving stones. Coffee in all its guises, from mocha to Irish coffee. The list of teas is still twice as long, though. Kinda weird. Lots of the people in the photos have been murdered. Shame. No donuts left. Coffee culture is spreading. Mild beans and double roasted. Is Willow Creek ready for this? The sugar's empty. I wouldn't know what I'm supposed to look for in there. Shame. No donuts left. At last, a ray of sunshine. I was beginning to think there were only gross-looking guys with alcohol problems living in this dump. Hi,
I recognize you from the newspaper.
And you're not gonna run away screaming?
I'd have a lot of running to do if I ran away from every widow in this dump.
You really like living here, huh?
Willow Creek.
Has anything exciting happened recently?
Apart from the fire at the castle? Wait a minute. Yeah, the espresso machine broke down.
Has this cafe been here long? I've never noticed it before.
We were closed during the fair this year.
Is it even worth having a cafe here in the village?
You'll have to ask my dad. It's his cafe. Why do you ask? Do you want to open one too?
Yeah, sure. Right next door. A Black Mia special cafe with ritual blood cappuccino and latte morbidato.
Good idea. Could have come from Murray.
By the way, I'm Darren. Or Adrian Gordon. Take your pick.
I'm Denise, or the one who's got no time for insane arsonists. Take your pick.
Wow.
Wow.
I think I prefer Denise.
Wow.
All right then, Darren.
So, what's a young woman like you doing in a place like this? Not one for city living?
Hell yeah. I'm just waiting for the right moment.
You mean when the twice-yearly bus to London stops here?
Something like that.
Pączki. Dawaj pączka.
Are you out of donuts?
No, there are some in the storeroom, but they're reserved for the nice inspector. He buys them here every morning.
Of course. And what if I want one too?
Yeah.
Then bake one yourself.
When does the inspector usually come in?
He should have been here to pick up his
Kiedy
donuts
inspektor
ages
przychodzi
ago.
na pączki,
He's
kiedy ma
probably
czas.
been delayed by the scum of the earth. Again.
Nice description.
That's what Conrad calls his clientele, not me.
Conrad?
Conrad Spooner. That's what the inspector's called. Didn't you know?
Dobra.
I didn't know that donuts was so popular in England.
I don't know, but I do know that Spooner loves them. Just as much as those cops in American TV shows.
And what does the dear inspector do when there aren't any donuts left?
He always gets what he wants. If need be, I bake him some.
Malutki kawałek. Kawa.
I'd like a coffee, black.
Coming up.
A mogę teraz wejść na zaplecze?
Okay, I've got to come up with something that's gonna make Spooner hang out here in the cafe for a while. A shelf full of stock for the cafe. What we got here? Coffee, tea, juice, milk. Ah, and a package of donuts. Those have to be the donuts specially reserved for Spooner. There are things like coffee, tea, juice, and milk on the shelf.
Dobra.
If I just leave the donuts on the freezer, I may as well leave them on the shelf. If I just leave the donuts on the freezer, I may as well. I'll put the donuts donuts back. A high-performance chest freezer with a glass lid. Not a lot in it. A pack of tart bases. Oh, and a box of ice cream. Mint and chocolate. The seal is in really bad shape. If it gets wet, you probably wouldn't be able to get the chest open anymore. It's cold enough in here. I'll close the thing again. Now, I'll put the pack back. I'll put the box of donuts in a nice visible spot in the freezer. We're gonna have frozen donuts here soon. Begging the question, how's that gonna help me? I'd better close the freezer so the donuts can get cooked. This is hardly gonna stop Spooner though. I'm gonna have to make sure that the freezer isn't so easy to open. Hello? I'll have another coffee, please.
It's on the bar.
It's cold. Can I get a new one?
Sure.
A poczekajcie, ja chyba odjebałam numer. Numer stulecia.
Hello? Maybe I'll see you later. Hello? Maybe I'll see you later.
Ty, ja chyba kłódki nie zabrałam.
Tom would like to see me dead. At least that's the last thing he said to me. You can hardly make out what used to be written there, but I assume that nothing.
Czekajcie.
Hello?
Hmm?
I think I'll have another one.
Okay.
Musimy gąbkę w wiadrze.
The sponge is dripping now. I don't want to be carrying it around with me for too long. It could get rather unpleasant. Now it's open again. I'll wet the ceiling rubbers with the wet sponge. If you close the freezer now, the water will freeze and it'll be almost impossible to open it again without defrosting the whole thing. Farewell, you donuts. Nobody's gonna be getting you out of there in a hurry. Now that ought to slow down the inspector's donut order somewhat.
Oho.
Another one of these flat days today. Could really do with something to lift me up a little.
Edward could come along at any time. Better if we wait till this evening.
Son, Edward. Give me a couple of donuts at least.
Yeah, sure. I'll get you some. Conrad, your donuts seem to have ended up in the freezer.
Yeah? They can't you boil them in the oven for a bit?
The problem is, the lid's frozen solid.
Ah, I get it. You want me to help you warm up your frozen chest?
I think those two are gonna be busy for a while.
Teraz wrócić na posterunek policji i zabić smaczka, tak?
Constable Zach seems okay. Plays by the letter of the law and all that. Can I ask you something briefly?
Hmm?
Do you believe I set fire to the castle?
Jestem
Well, Mr.
niewinny!
Michaels, you claim to be Samuel Gordon's son, and you were at the scene of the crime with a smoldering torch in your hand.
I had that to defend myself with.
Against the mysterious secret order that nobody knows about and nobody's seen.
It's mentioned in the Gordon Chronicles.
500 years ago.
Forget it.
And then there was the thing with poor Miss Valerie, right? We found your tracks at the scene of the crime.
I told you, forget it.
Dobra, to co? Dalej pytamy? Dalej.
Spooner, your inspector, is he always so nice?
I don't know. He was in the homicide department in London until half a year ago. Then, he got redeployed here as a punishment.
That explains a lot.
Since then, he's tried everything to get back out of here. He locks people up for the smallest of misdemeanors. Good for the statistics, you see.
And you can't do anything about it?
What does a bear do about the winter? He rolls himself up and sleeps until the spring comes.
How long are you gonna look for Angelina?
She'll be deemed missing until we find her.
Even if she's long since dead?
We haven't found a body yet, Mr. Michaels.
How involved were you in the investigation of my case?
I searched the sewer system and the bunker.
And you didn't find any clues?
No.
That just can't be true.
It's bloody dark down there, Mr. Michaels, and full of rats. Not for the faint-hearted.
Is there anything new on the kidnapping? Have you spoken to Tom, Bobby, or the kid in Wales?
According to the statement, Tom was at Alton Towers with Bobby at the time.
And you don't find it a little bit strange that those two went to a theme park?
The only strange thing was that Bobby was in hospital for 2 days afterwards with concussion. But we've got a medical certificate that proves that.
And what if Tom was lying?
We can't prove it. He had 2 tickets for the theme park and the paperwork from the hospital.
Damn. And the boy?
There's no one called Van Helsing in Wales.
Can you make a copy of my file and send it to my lawyer?
Didn't he get one ages ago?
He, wants to have the current version for the embassy.
Not possible.
Something wrong?
I'd forgotten. The copier gave up the ghost a few weeks back, but there's a new one on order.
Are you being serious?
It's not so bad. I've so little to do here, I could type up most of the documents.
I understand. So, would you be so kind as to type my file?
No.
And what if I fix that thing?
All right then. You go and see what you can do with it.
Goodbye, Constable.
Idziemy do kserokopiarki.
It can't be that difficult to fix a copier. I studied it once. Well, kind of. What if we got here? The fuse has blown. Switch to turn it on, and you press the green button to copy. If I twist and connect the wires that work, it should be able to copy again.
Poczekaj. A jak się przekręca? Poczekajcie, bo kurwa, chyba zagadka moja. Ja, moment. Czekaj,
That
jeszcze
should do
raz.
it. Can I ask you something briefly?
Hmm?
The copier's working again.
Hmm?
Now, can you copy my file?
Sure. Then I'll send the copy to your lawyer. The copy of your file?
Well, then I can send it myself.
The inspector insists that no files can leave the building without authorization.
I see. Damn. Constable, when does the mail go? My lawyer needs the file as soon as possible.
I'll post it later on. It ought to be collected this afternoon.
Thanks. Goodbye, Constable.
Skąd ma te jadło?
Cold coffee. A piece of thin board. Ah, it's a menu. The board is just the right size. It'll go straight on top of the mail bay, so that when the constable posts the letter, I can easily pull it out again.
Ty chyba coś nie wyszło.
I'll just leave him in peace for now. It worked. Let's see what's in here. Friday afternoon, 12:30. Oh, they must have discovered the body then. The time of death from Miss Valley was the previous evening, Thursday, between 10 and midnight. Cause of death, burned
Idziemy do
alive
hotelu,
after a
zaraz
blow to the
na
back
tym
of the
chyba
head.
zakończymy live'a.
Then, witness interviews. Let's see. Not important. Saw nothing. It continues. Friday, 1837. Emergency services called out. At that time, I was in the rooms of the old academy with Angelina, Lewis, and my mother. Then, Saturday, 12:06 a.m. Fire under control. At that time, I was running from the ruins in the direction of the castle. 3 bodies were retrieved. Lady Eleanor Gordon, Edward Bartholomew Bates, the butler, and Sally Wood, the cook. 1 survivor, Lady Victoria Gordon, suffering from severe smoke inhalation. Also on Saturday morning, 12:12 a.m., Darren Michaels arrested on suspicion of arson and murder of Miss Valley. Witness interviews on the subject unproductive, and Lady Victoria Gordon could not as yet be questioned. She remains in shock. After a 2-week period of hospitalization, was discharged of her own wishes to continue medical supervision at home. Hey, it says here that Murray can't remember having seen me in the hotel on Thursday evening. That can't be right. That was exactly when he threw me out of the hotel. Oh, the rat was lying. Just wait. Evidence still insufficient to charge, but strongly suspected of crime. Current state of the investigation. Darren Michaels' conduct, as well as his contradictory testimony, is currently being examined for plausibility by the psychiatric expert, Dr. Joyce Winterbottom. Here's a note to Constable Zach. If he's diagnosed as nuts, will he have to be remanded in a loony bin? Possible murder weapon, a torch, still smoldering, which was in Darren Michaels' possession when apprehended. He's undergoing forensic examination. Deportation to USA, not possible. Release of the suspect on bail on direction of the court. Dr. Winterbottom authorized as prime supervisory agent and point of referral. Good, and I've got 2 new goals already. Visit Victoria and see how she's doing, and let Murray know what I think. I'll write in the file so I don't forget. There are enough empty pages.
Dobra, zapisaliśmy.
I can stash the remains of my diary away with it as well.
Dobra, ale myślę... że na tym chyba zakończymy Bożka. Zapiszemy sobie grę, rozdział 1. Zapisz. Napis. Jak czul. No dobra, na tym zakończymy. Jutro pewnie się zobaczymy, pewnie coś tam się odpalę, jak nie będę bardzo